Hi, writers. So today we want to think about coming up with a thesis for our literary essay. And you might have a thesis in mind, and maybe you don't. So today we're just going to kind of start from the beginning. I want you to think about on Friday the example literary essay that we saw. So I want you to think about maybe the length of the essay, how many paragraphs there were. We identified that she had a thesis about the character Rachel. And in that scavenger hunt too, we noticed some different things that are in the essay that we're going to want to have in our essay, like quotation marks that show details from the text that support the reasons and support the thesis. And so today we really want to kind of enter that planning stage of the essay. So that's where we're going to create our thesis today and our 2 or 3 reasons that support that thesis. And when you're doing your independent writing, you are going to do that and then post for your share in a discussion today. And then we are going to try to have writing partners comment on each other's posts. So let's go ahead and start. I just kind of have a little slide presentation to show you of how the process is going to work. And we're going to think about the book Fox, so maybe you listen to that story again, or maybe not, but think about the characters, Dog and Magpie. And I've gone through a couple of lessons thinking about what I've noticed, some certain details from that story. So today I want to teach you that when you're writing a literary essay, just like a personal or persuasive essay, you find that seed idea. So you want to have your writer's notebook with you. And I want you just kind of looking through your entries today as part of that independent writing time. What is the big idea that you want to say? And so kind of gathering a bunch of ideas, and you're going to choose one today to really stick with. So if we're thinking about the book Fox, here were some of my noticings. At the beginning of the story, Magpie is hurt and Dog comes to rescue her. He carries Magpie gently in his mouth. And then you see right here, I have the thought prompt. This shows he is trying to help her, not hurt her. Dog carries Magpie to his cave and takes care of her burnt wing. Dog really wants to help Magpie. He helps her wing get better, and then he tries to help her spirits get better. Magpie does not want Dog's help, but Dog keeps trying. This shows that he doesn't give up easily. He tries to cheer up Magpie by telling her that he's blind, but life's still good. But Magpie can only focus on the fact that she will no longer fly. So for some reason, she won't let Dog help her. So you notice these are my noticings. You're noticing my noticings. And I have underlined some ideas. This shows he's trying to help her, not hurt her. Dog really wants to help Magpie. And this shows that he doesn't give up easily. Okay, so those are some big ideas that are sticking out to me. So from looking at my writer's notebook and looking at those ideas, I want to think about my possible thesis statements. So I wrote, Dog really wants to help Magpie. Okay. Dog does not give up easily. Dog is a really caring dog. Dog is a good friend to Magpie. And if you're working together as a class, this might be a good time to stop and think about all of these. I've got 4 possible thesis statements. So today, maybe you also have 4 big ideas that you think you might want to talk about for your literary essay. So I want to think about which one do I want to test? So you want to test it out to make sure that it's going to be a good fit for you. So let's look at Dog is a good friend to Magpie. When you choose a thesis, you're looking for those ideas. Step 2, though, does the opinion relate to more than one part of the story? Is there enough evidence from the story that will support it? Test ideas until there's one that feels like it's the most important. So if I'm thinking, Dog is a good friend to Magpie, is there more than one part that shows this in the story? Is there enough evidence from the story that will support it? So I'm going to go think about that. Is that maybe only showing in one part? I think as I'm thinking about the story, I feel like Dog showed multiple times that he was a good friend to Magpie. So I'm thinking Dog is a good friend. This thesis relates to more than one part. So let's try to see if there's enough evidence to support that in the story. And here you could also pause and think about what were some examples in that book that shows that Dog is a good friend. One reason Dog is a good friend because he's caring. Okay. Another reason Dog is a good friend is that he doesn't give up on his friend. So he's caring. He doesn't give up. And then I want to think, how can I support my thesis statement? So I want to look back with reasons, with kinds or ways. The times when that happened, the evidence of how it is true for one character and true for another. And with that evidence of how it is true at the beginning of the story, then at the end of the story. And I'm thinking about that. Dog helped Magpie with her wing, try to cheer her up, asking her to look at the reflection to see the two of them together. Dog was caring, he was trying to be a friend to Fox too, not only to Magpie. And even though at the end of the story, where Magpie makes a wrong decision and is all of a sudden alone, she tries to work her way back to Fox. And would she do that if he was not a good friend? So let's think about that. So I feel like I do have a lot of evidence that could support that thesis, but I have to have that conversation about that or write those down to test the thesis out. So I want you to look through your writing, and I want you to also think about your thought prompts chart that you should have. I'm trying to pull mine up here. Maybe not. So look through your writer's notebook at your thought prompts. Those will help you. And I also want to go back to look at our how to write a literary essay chart. So we had left off at where we found a big idea that was important to you. So from the text, okay? So I'm thinking Dog is a good friend to Fox. And now I want to test that thesis out. So I thought about, does the text show multiple or many examples of Dog being a good friend to Fox? I think so. And is there enough evidence to support that? I think so. So I'm going to have that conversation or write out that evidence. And if you look at my last bullet point, collecting evidence. So you want to think of the little micro stories or the mini stories within the story that could help support, or connection stories. Oh, an example of this is he's caring. I know that good friends do this because. Maybe you can give your own little mini story example. Quotes. So finding exact sentences that support your thinking in the text. Maybe you're going to kind of make a list of some ideas or details that you noticed in the text that support that Dog is caring. Your character is. And different examples from the text or examples that you can think of maybe in real life that make that connection. So your job today, writers, is again to go through your noticings in your writer's notebooks. I want you to come up with that big idea. I'm going to be doing the same thing for my character, Rachel, in 11. What is the big idea that I want to say about this character? And I'm going to think about reasons that support that. That is what we are going to work on during our independent writing time. So when you're ready and you've got all your materials with you, let's go ahead and click to the next page to start independent writing. Good work.